Alessandro, last second chance. Congratulations on the upcoming EP, Fast Forward Part One.
Thank
Um,
you.
when's the expected release?
Ha, good question. For sure, I cannot tell you in the sense that we are trying to do our best to kind of move fast towards it. But it shouldn't be too long. I mean, we really are looking at a couple of songs that have to be a little bit polished and finished, and then we have a guy that we use for mixing, and he has a little bit of a queue, so we're trying to see when that happens. But as soon as we have all the songs fully mixed, mastered, we're gonna put them on. We might still upload actually a few singles if we see that it's taking a little bit of time. We'll release a few singles with music videos and stuff.
Oh, cool, cool. Now, how many tracks will be on the EP?
So the EP is like a half of our full-length album, which is 10 songs. So it will be 5 songs.
Cool, 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 cool. Can you tell me anything about them songs?
Um, well, yeah, sure. I mean, the songs that we have written are songs that are scattered throughout our past. So with this debut album, well, Last Second Chance in general as a band is a project that stems from us wanting to give ourselves a last second chance at doing rock music, which is what we always wanted to do when we moved to America, but we couldn't really get it done because of life, and so expensive to live here in LA. And these are the songs that we've wrote throughout the years, but we never get to record and put together. And now we're doing it. So it's a cool mix of songs that we've wrote throughout our years in America that we were supposed to put out, and now we're finally doing it.
Cool, cool. Now, you're with Burning Minds music group. Can you tell me anything about that? How'd you hook up with them?
Burning Mind Music Group. I think maybe that's Stefano, my friend
Yes,
Stefano.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, with Stefano, he used to be so when I used to live in Italy, he was the guy to go to when you wanted some news to spread around. And still, after many years, being this project is still very much independent, we decided to reach out to him, and it's like, hey, Stefano, can you help us just to spread the word? We have this music video coming out, and we would love to, you know, get the word around. So he's always there doing it, and we are very thankful for it.
Cool, cool. Now, with the new video and single, Send Me a Sign, which is a very powerful song. I loved it, and I let my wife hear it, and she goes, that's it. That's the song. She loved it. She loved it. It's very powerful, she tells me, and stuff like that. And you got to work with Mike Portnoy. Tell me a little bit about how that was arranged.
Of course. So here's a little bit of a funny story. So me and the guitar player, we are on a comedy show on TV. We've been on a comedy show on TV for about 7 or 8 years, where we play pretty much a dumber version of ourselves, still musicians, still rock musicians. A show called On Cinema. The main comedian is Tim Heidecker from this famous show in the 2000 called Tim and Eric. Um, so we are in the show, and Portnoy watches the show. He's a fan of the show, and he's been following us on Instagram for a few years now. And we've always noticed that he followed us, and sometimes he interacts. He likes some of our stories and stuff like that. So one day, when we decided to revamp this and try to make an album out of all these songs that we have, um, Manuel, the guitar player, was like, man, I'm just gonna do something wild. I'm just gonna text Portnoy and see if he's down to play drums with us. And I was like, all right, do what you want. I don't think he's even gonna respond. Well, actually, Portnoy responded. He wanted to hear the songs. We sent him 4 or 5 songs, and he liked them. It's like, I really like this song, guys. I mean, I'd be down. We
Uh,
couldn't really believe it because we were like, all right. I mean, and then we moved forward with arranging an hotel, arranging a flight for him, and then eventually he did come to LA, and we did record his 5 songs, and actually we become very good friends, and that's the story essentially.
Very cool. Very cool. Can you tell me anything about the Supernova that came out in 2017?
Well, okay, so yeah, last second chance we did have a little bit of other music coming that we tried to drop in 2017. It was a couple songs that we now have removed from the internet. I don't think there's much left online. It
Right.
was like it was like at first when we just moved to LA, we were trying to do we try to do some music because that's kind of the goal that we had when we try to move here.
Right.
However, we've always been fans of rock music, classic rock music, and for me, it's like the '80s and '90s,
Right.
Queen and all that stuff. However, by being here, I think we made the mistake back then that we wanted to have a sound that was a little bit more modern. Not the mistake, but like we tried something that was more modern with like a more like a synth pop kind of like vibe.
Right.
And the project didn't last long because it wasn't authentic. Because actually we were trying to please a little bit, try to fit our rock taste into the modern days.
Right.
And it wasn't something that was coming from the heart, and we abandoned it quickly because it wasn't really something that we were feeling deep down. And after 5 or 6 months of trying to making those songs, it wasn't really what we wanted. So now, after many years, we're like, okay, let's just do a rock record, the ones that we like, the ones that
Right.
we
Yeah.
really want to do. And who cares? Because both me and Manu, the guitar player, we have our steady, regular jobs. We don't need to please anyone. We don't care. Like we want to just do a solid rock album and the way we want it to be. And I think it's showing because the music is this time so much better
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're not making any compromise. We're not listening to anyone telling us to change a little bit the direction. We just want to do what we want to do.
Oh, cool. And I noticed you put out quite a few cover songs that were videotaped. I saw on YouTube yesterday
Mhm.
and stuff like that, like More Than Words, One Wicked Game, and Bohemian Rhapsody. There might
Yeah.
be others, but you enjoy doing that covers?
Yeah. So reason why we started we do those covers is because we still play acoustically sometimes. We did play acoustically for about a year before we released this album, and just me and him going around, pubs, restaurants, and stuff like that, playing that. So one day, those videos that you saw is because one day a friend of ours that was working at a recording studio was like, "Hey, this recording studio is shutting down tomorrow. Do you guys want to come down and just record a few songs acoustically?" We're like, sure, we'll play some covers that we play when we go to the restaurant or when we go to the bars.
Uh-huh.
And we just did that, and we decided to put it out also to show, because I feel like in today's rock music, especially in the metal scene, there's so much autotune, there's so much production, there's so much stuff that goes, and that's just raw live. It's just us, 2 microphones. That's
Right.
it. And we just wanted to make a point that we just love acoustic stuff, and we can do it. We can really just do it without any sort of like one take. That's it.
Cool, cool.
Kind of like how they used to do back in the days, the classic old MTV Unplugged and stuff
Right.
like that. There's no way to do it more than once.
Now, where'd you come up with the name Last Second Chance?
Well, Last Second Chance, well, it's just, I don't know. I think there was a band in my town in Italy that
Uh,
was called like that. It was like a small band that kind of disbanded fairly quick. But I don't know why many years later, I when we decided to make this project, I thought Last Second Chance was the right name for it,
uh,
because we're two dudes who are pretty much wanted to do rock music, and this is probably our last second chance to really do it, because we're in our 30s now. We
right.
used to be in our 20s 10 years ago. Now we're in our 30s, and you see that life is moving fast, and we're like, all right, so let's call it last second chance, because that's kind of what it is. It's our last second chance to make some out of our passion, the passion that we grew up with, and so that's it.
Cool, cool. Like you said, you got a couple tracks coming out with this EP, Pass Forward Part 1. Does that mean there's a part two?
There is a part two. We absolutely have the material for a part two. We are absolutely we are working on it. I mean, to be really honest, it's all about the fact that we want to try to make this record in a very we're trying to make this record in a very organic way, going to the studio, not using triggers,
Right.
recording studio, kind of do it a little bit like back in the days. And I feel like the sounds that comes out, it's pretty cool because a lot of bands now just to streamline and do it faster and cheaper. Sometimes they cut a little corners. We're trying not to do that, and we feel like it shows in the sounds. It just takes a little bit of time because it's very
Right.
expensive at this stage. This project is very much self-funded, so we progress as we can. So these 5 songs are ultimately pretty much done and ready to be mixed and mastered, all the 5 songs. And then we have these 5 more that we absolutely would love to. And we have more than 5, but it's just about try to make, the first record, which is like 10 songs.
Right. Cool, cool. What music did you listen to when you were younger?
I mean, my very first when I grew up, I feel like my very first my big inspiration was Bon Jovi. My sister had a Crossroad cassette tapes, and I would just listen to whatever she had because she was older than me and I was just a little kid, and she had the greatest hits of Bon Jovi. I would listen to that all the time. And then Michael Jackson, Queen, stuff like that. I remember though that my very first show was Lenny Kravitz
Uh-huh.
because early 2000, not many people doing rock anymore already.
Right.
Lenny
Yeah.
Kravitz was one of the first, that one of the few that was, on heavy rotation on MTV and just ripping guitar solos. And I remember I went to one of his shows. It was my first concert. I was maybe 13, 14 when I saw the show, and I was like, I want to do that. So that was like definitely a big thing. But then also my family is all in music, so I grew up listening to Queen, Chicago a lot, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff.
Cool, cool. Will this EP come out on vinyl?
I don't know. We'll see if there's a if there's a request. We might as well just print it for sure.
Right. Yeah. Cool, cool. What's your goal once this is released? What are your hopes?
Well, for us, it's like we wanted the songs to be out. That's the first thing because we always knew that there was potential, and the reaction so far. It's been pretty encouraging. I mean, the fact alone that Portnoy was down to come play the songs just gave us a big boost of confidence because we never knew if the songs were any good. I mean, you think they are, but you never
Right.
know, and the fact that he came down and did it, it was for us, it was mind blowing. So now we our goal is to literally put the songs out. Hopefully people love it, and hopefully we get to play shows. It's we don't have I don't really have big dreams of aspirations of who knows what. I just really would like to have it a nice kick of rock and roll in my life at this point, where we just play
Right.
shows and we release music and people like it and we have good memories. That's about it.
Cool, cool, cool. Did you enjoy making the video for Send Me a Sign?
Yes, so that's my job. As a what I do here in LA, I'm a cinematographer. So I filmed my own music video. That was very fun, and I plan to do it more and more because we have more songs and more music videos to be done. It was very fun to do it. We were stoked that Mike was also down to be in the music video. And yeah, it looks very. I think I'm pretty proud about the music video because it's done really with not so much. If you know where to look, it's not an expensive music video, but because I'm pretty experienced, I know how to make it look
Right.
like it's a big budget. However, it's made with very simple means.
Cool. Did you actually get wet?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But just to give you an idea, you look at it, it looks like so Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's in front of my house in LA with like a hose with like a shower attachment and a couple lights, and it feels
Right.
like I'm outside singing in the rain, but it's not
Right.
really, it's just a trick.
Cool, 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 cool. What was the last show you attended?
Last show, oof. Last show. Let me think. Uh, um. hmm. Okay, so I do shows sometimes for work,
Uh,
but what's the show that I went to for myself? I don't know. It's slipping away from me now, but I don't know. I can't think of one now. I haven't been going to many shows, to be honest. I haven't been going to many shows. I've been to Testament and Creators, which is a
uh,
little more
right.
heavier than what I. That's the last one that I kind of remember going to because I wanted. Let's just go see that, and
Cool.
I went to that. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, I went to see Mike performing Metal Militia at NAMM
Uh,
2024. Oh, my last show was Dream Theater. I went to
wow.
see Mike Portnoy playing Dream Theater. He gave us a VIP pass, and we went check him out. Yeah, that was what it was. The Dream Theater.
Yeah.
It just toured here in LA.
Cool, cool. How hard is it to break into music?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
I've um, to be honest, like I've seen a lot of comments of people saying they like my voice and stuff like that. I've been singing like that for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, for more than 10 years. It's just very hard. I don't that's why I don't even it's not that I don't even hope too much about it. It's just
Right.
I don't care. I just
Uh,
want to do the music because it's fun to do and because it's a great way to give something to the people and then you play shows and it's fun. But I think, you know, I don't know if I want to go down the path of thinking, oh, I'm gonna become a big famous band, big rock star. 'Cause I just
right.
feel like it's just very hard. There's so many things that have to happen. Um, yeah, that's it. I don't know.
Cool. Have you done any shows at all?
Yes, we did play the Viper Room last year. We're in the talks to play another show, maybe in a couple of weeks here in LA. Um, we want to play shows as much as possible because we think that our best our best side is the live shows because frankly we are pretty much one to one with the record. I mean, we can really do what we do in the record live, and people have enjoyed our live shows so much. Also because me and Manuel knows about we perform about 40-50 covers, so sometimes when we play ourselves in restaurants or stuff like that, so it happens sometimes that when we play a show and people just want more, and the owner of the club says keep playing. Oh, we can keep going.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we got hours of rock for you.
Wow, 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 wow. Have you given any autographs lately?
No, 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 no
Not yet?
autographs. Not yet, not yet. Sometimes I do it for that TV show that I was telling you.
Uh-huh.
That TV show. It's a kind of a niche show, but there's quite a bit of fans. It's also for us to prove that we're not those guys from that TV shows. I mean, we are. We definitely
Right,
love being in a TV show. Don't get me wrong. I love being in a TV show. We love making fun of ourselves because we don't take ourselves too serious.
right.
But we also want to show with this band that I mean, we can also really play for real and not just
Uh-huh.
pretend to suck.
Cool, 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 cool. You have any merchandise available or anything available for fans to buy?
Yes, we have. If you go in our Instagram, or there's a link in bio, or even in the what's it called? Even in the comments of in the description of our YouTube videos, there's a link for you can buy a shirt, you can buy stuff like that. It would help us because, like we're saying, we're trying to make this record at this stage is completely self-funded, but we're trying to make it legit. We
Right.
recorded this last one at the Studio 606 of Foo Fighters, which is their
Mhm.
private studios. But we were able to kind of make our way in. So, any shirt would help us just achieving our goals a little bit faster. Yeah.
Definitely cool. Well, Alexandro, it was great talking to you, and I appreciate the chat. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Thank you for listening. Send me a sign. Stay tuned because we have more songs. I would also want to clarify that we did record the whole EP with Mike on drums, so it was just not for this. Send me a sign. There's more songs with Mike on drums. So if you enjoyed that side of it, there's going to be more coming. And yeah, we have. Honestly, I plan to make a music video per song. So
Uh-huh. Cool.
you're gonna hear. We're gonna hear from us. for sure.
Cool, cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.